Hey everybody, it's Steve. I hope you're doing pretty good. So this is going to be my weekly video where I go over the Splinterlands AMA, some other news they've given out in the last few days, and just give away a little bit of DEC. Make sure you get your comment on the post on Hive if you want a chance to win the DEC. There'll be a pinned comment on the video and in the description a few minutes after this is up. And that once you do that, you can get on the wheel and you can win some DEC. We'll just go over a quick little thing. Last night I was on Luke's channel on his Splinter Talk show. I'll be trying to go on this whenever I can. He had me on, and he also had on Ashley NFT. She runs a really cool channel on YouTube for newer players, mostly in the Silver League. She focuses. And then you got Jim Morgan. You can look him up on Twitch. He's a live streamer who kind of really has a good grasp of different ways to make money from the Splinterlands game as opposed to just playing the Splinterlands game. He looks at it a lot more like an investment than I do, and he's got some very good theories and very good plans. If you do watch the talk show, we agreed on quite a few things. We talked about a lot of where we see a lot of the game going. We gave you some deck building ideas. We talked about the best cards to use early, the best cards to use later on. It was a really fun hour. Hopefully we'll be doing this more often because I really like having a chance to talk with other people about the game, because it is kind of hard to get, some locals sometimes to get into the game and talk to us. So getting into some of the recent announcements, there was an SPS update. This is really something you only need to come and check out if you wanted to know quickly about like some of the tech background of the smart contracts. Basically, this goes over, they used to manually mint the SPS tokens that they needed to get the ones that they give out for staking and whatnot. They finally finished the automated contract that can be controlled by the new government program. So this is all leading us towards a decentralized contract, so that if we're giving out too many tokens in play to earn, once governance is live, we could maybe vote to lower those, spread them out longer, move something over, speed them up or something like that, or change distribution rates. Though there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be able to bring up votes for, and this is why I'm staking all of my SPS, because once this becomes a governance token, I think it's going to be something you want to be able to control, especially if you have a decent collection of cards. They put out a new story. You can come and check these out, especially if you listen to the live AMAs. They do pack giveaways, usually with questions from the newer stories. I'm a few stories behind, but I do listen to the lore on the YouTube once they make an audio file of it. So I am going to try to catch up on those. I think I'm probably like 2 or 3 back, and I just haven't had time to listen to them all yet. Splinterlands SPS token got listed on ZipMex. That's nice to see. Another exchange listing just leads to at least a decent amount of liquidity that can end up on that exchange. That takes it out of other places, and in general gives it more access for people to get the token. So you always like to see these things. Obviously, you might want bigger things than this, but you get what you get for now, and hopefully we'll see if the governance token is used to maybe get us onto some of those bigger exchanges if we do want to go around paying those kind of fees. They are pretty high though, and you'd almost like them to add you as opposed to you ask them to get added. Sorry, that was not supposed to be there. Not that it was bad, I just don't know why I was on that random post. So the town hall, I listened to it live, and when I do that, I'm doing other things, because they do it now at a time usually where I'm at work, so I'm listening to it, but I'm also trying to work. So if I miss little tiny things, you can always let me know in the comments, or also give your own opinions of what you thought was really interesting in the AMA, or if I got things wrong or right. We had a fun AMA because we had someone from the Warner Music team come and talk up a little bit of their stuff, and so that was pretty interesting. And there was just a lot of different updates that were built into here, so we're just going to go through them really quickly. Obviously you can watch the whole AMA, it's almost 2 hours long, but hopefully I'll be able to cover some of the more important things for you. So the Jillian, who goes by G Jaguar, she came and she talked about the whole thing and the partnership that's going on with Warner Music Group. It does feel like this group is going to be using Splinterlands to make both a very simple game and a more complex game. We don't know exactly what artists are going to be features in those games, if they're going to be general music, or exactly where that's going to be, but they did say that's what they're going to do. We don't know fully how the SPS token or any of our cards will be used into those games, but Aggro did go ahead and, after getting peppered with a few questions, admitted, look guys, I'm going to try with all of our partnerships to bring value to the assets that you have in our current game. So if he can, and he can work it out so that maybe staked SPS gets you some free NFTs, or collection power gets you access to a whitelist, or Splinterlands cards can actually be put into the game. There's all these different options that they could try to work out. The list can go on and on and on, and they're going to be trying to do those things to give our tokens and our assets more use cases and more places you can earn with them. The real question is, does a fantasy type game with a bunch of fantasy monsters fit into the music industry? Maybe not, but who knows what they can work out. We took Waka and we turned him into a fantasy character within our game, so maybe he turns back into a regular DJ for the music game, right? You don't know how it could work, but we'll have to see if they can work out some of those kind of partnerships and abilities to have those assets move into both. They did talk about the Waka sellout and how it went so quick, and they didn't think it was going to go that quick. I think they missed an opportunity, because when they decided to move it onto Wax, they're selling it for 1,500 regular, 7,000 gold foil, and that kind of is a bit disappointing for some of the people that bought it in the secondary market. I don't know the highest price someone paid for it, but I do know cards are selling over $2,000. They were listing at $2,500, and then the team, instead of taking that momentum of the price of the card and trying to maybe raise some more assets and listing them at that price on Wax, they're listing it closer to the price on Wax that it was at the time that it went on sale on the game. I actually don't like that for two main reasons. The whole point of a pre-sale for voucher holders only is we're getting access to something early, ahead of the game, and before anybody else. It's awesome, it's amazing, it's great value for vouchers, except when you tell us that a couple days later you could buy it for the exact same price just on the Wax blockchain. Then it's not as exclusive, and next time this happens, people aren't going to necessarily go out and flood into vouchers if they know that you're just going to have another shot at the same price a few days later. So I hope the team adjusts that idea. I think if you release something first to us, whatever the market price is set after that should be around the floor that you sell the item for on when you move into a new place. I do understand that when you make a partnership with somebody like Waka to release his things, and the company behind the whole AR version of the mask, that is the whole reason it had to have a drop on Wax, could have something to say about that kind of stuff, but that's what I would like to see. I would like our stuff to really be in early access, a special ability to get these items before anybody else. We got some creative updates, mostly that Waka's story came out, and that they're going to be releasing a story where you're going to be the star of the show. That was kind of interesting to see. I don't know how they're going to work that in, but they're actually trying to bring in the idea of what they call the battle summoners or the battle mages, which are basically us who control the game and play the game, actually being integrated into the lore and the stories and the worlds, though we don't know exactly how that will be done yet. On the marketing updates, there were a lot of things that were pretty cool. The stream team should be kicking off in the next few weeks. I actually was a little late to the game talking about them, so I'm not in the first group of people that's going to be on the stream team. They did say that once they get those people up and going, that I could talk to them after that, and maybe they'll find a spot where I could stream a little bit. I do have to admit, I don't have a big following on Twitch. I only have, I think, 11 followers over there. I'm just starting to go live over there when I do my live YouTubes, so I could look into that maybe if I build up a bit of a following over there. Though they might be having a stream on their channel, so I just don't know exactly how that's going to work. Hardpoint is going to be going to a game developers conference, which is pretty cool, and Chatter's going to be speaking at NFTLA. I'm going to look into NFTLA and see if I can go. It should be a fun thing to do, and they did let the bag about the ZipMech partnership launching this Friday, and as you see, it did. So tournaments, I've gone over this a little bit in some of my other posts, and I actually want to make a real short video that just focuses only on tournaments so I can explain the differences. But basically, they're adding in a feature where you need to have staked SPS to get into tournaments. This is helping tournaments not be run by too many bots. It's a good way to counter bots, because most people who are botting and running a lot of bot accounts to try to compete in these bronze tournaments, just hoping to sneak their way into some kind of reward, well, they can't get in unless they stake SPS. So no more guy running 50 bots and putting them all 50 into the tournament, hoping some of them will get matched up against each other and he'll sneak his way into the top ladder and end up bringing down a prize. Now he would have to have around 1,000 SPS. We'll see if that number moves up or down, but you'd have to have, it was around 1,000 when we checked yesterday on the live stream to get into these tournaments. They're also keeping an eye on prize distributions. They're looking into making sure people have competitive decks for the areas that they're winning. There's going to be some changes in the game that I think is going to be driving us to be rewarded for actually investing in the game and leveling up our cards. Right now, there's a good argument to be made. Get your cards to level 3, leave them there. It's fine, it's profitable, you can win, you can make your way into like gold. Well, really, we want people to be incentivized to, I think, to level their cards up more and not feel like they're losing value by doing that. We got a good team update. If you're interested, the team is still growing. They're getting rolling. They did lose one developer to some personal issues, but they have 7 devs that they're going through their final kind of evaluations and adding to the team. If they do that, they'll go from 12 to 19. We don't know if all 7 of those guys will fit, but still, it's excited to see more and more devs come into the system, especially because we expected them to be hiring to be able to handle the Warner Music Group. And just to touch base on that a little bit more before I go on, I really like the Warner Music Group, because when you heard them come in, you found out that they had a special team that is looking into Web3, looking into NFTs, and looking into play to earn as a way to branch that stuff into their company. And when they have a department that's dedicated to that, who went out there and made a partnership with Splinterlands, it means the Splinterlands management team really stood out to a very big company as someone that could help them build their game, build their tokenomics, and make their stuff work and popular. If that's the case, that bodes well for people, you know, trusting the fact that they've done a good job with Splinterlands, that the economy of Splinterlands does work and it is designed pretty well, and this makes me feel better about this game long term. Dygycon 8 is coming up. I will definitely try to be there on the main date, the 19th, between that 3-hour period. I'll be walking around and you could chat with me if you're there. If you've never been, I suggest trying to go there on the first day, the 18th, so you can get familiar with being in the Gamer Drive setup, walking around, and they usually give stuff to the people who are there the first day. I never know what it is. It's not necessarily valuable, but they will have some swag. As you can see, they're giving out 25 Chaos Legion packs and 25 vouchers. Pretty much when you first log into the site, there'll be an area where you can like put in your usernames and all this stuff on a Google Sheet, and then they do some random drawings after the event has ended. In the Q&A stuff, there was a lot of talk about Modern and Wild and when it will be here, and it will be coming soon. And so hopefully we'll get a good feel for how that's going to work, and we'll finally get real answers on if there's going to be lower collection scores to get into higher leagues because the newer cards aren't worth as much collection power, if how the ERC pools are going to compare, and if one is better than the other one. I've made the thought that the bot accounts are going to equalize out those two pools, so it's not going to be a big difference, but some people do think that a lot of people will switch over to the modern one, and the older one, the wild format, will be worth more. We'll have to see. You know, it does feel like the team is going to be ramping up, that we're going to be having land coming out, that we're going to be maybe getting other partnerships like Waka coming forward. But for now, it does feel like they're still, you know, getting some of the people up and into full speed and working on things. We did get updates on like the validators coming out soon, and once we know more about those, that'll be the real first big step to the SPS token starting to turn around. And I'm going to talk about the tokens again at the end of this video, but that's really kind of a lot of the main things that were in the town hall. There wasn't any amazing updates, but everything was like real good stuff to look for, what might be coming in the next few weeks. We might actually learn about the Warner Partnership's first game, how that's going to be, how our assets might integrate into those games, and what else might be going on. We saw that the team is still growing and that they are investing in talent to go ahead and move this game up and make it better. So that's all really exciting. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk to you about? I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forget about anything. They dropped some eye candy. They're redesigning some of the artwork, as you can see, for the site, make it look a little better. We got this avatar option. Oh, because the hide your opponent to stop some of the bot tools out there that can help people make a better team to beat you if they know your play styles is going to be coming soon. So hopefully that'll make the battles not quite as easy to know what is coming. Though you'll still get to look at the last 5 teams they've used, you won't be able to dip into a database to see what kind of teams do I usually use when there's like 14 mana or 30 mana. And I think that's better. You shouldn't really be able to use those tools, in my opinion, to get an unfair advantage in the game, because not everybody knows how to use them. Not everybody might even have access to the best ones out there. Some people are hiding some, and it makes an unfair advantage. All right, let's go ahead and get into the giveaway. So here's our wheel with the people that made a comment on my Splinterlands recap post. We'll do a quick shuffle or two here, and we'll see who gets the 1000 DEC. And then we'll get into talking about the tokens. I had an interesting talk on the live stream the other day about the tokens, and it looks like most of us agree DEC is probably gonna head down, people, but we'll see what happens and if we're wrong. We got Magic Odoaz is our winner. And let's go ahead and get you your 1000 DEC. See, I don't carry a lot of DEC. I'm only at 34,000. Though I've been bringing DEC into the game and then spending it. Let's see if this goes through with no problem. Looks like it. Because I've been upgrading my cards. I've actually finished all my legendary in the Chaos Legion. All my rares and all my epics are now maxed out. And I'm working on the common cards now. The common cards are kind of the annoying ones because you have to buy so many copies. And I haven't done that well yet. The only one I've maxed out is the Goblin Psychic. But he's a really cool one. I try to do the expensive ones first. Just because if you don't do those ones quick enough, they tend to get more expensive. So like I'm working on Deep Lurker. Ooh, I actually might be able to do Deep Lurker. Ooh, I can. Let's just double check I didn't buy too many. Oh yeah, and we could do one other special thing that will be kind of fun for anybody that hangs out for this far into the video. We're at 17 minutes, so you can see me upgrade my Deep Lurker to max level. Let's go. Look at that. Now he gets that demoralize. But I do have some packs to open from my Brawl sessions. So we got 4 of these, so we'll go ahead and open them up. These are the Gladius packs. This is one of the big reasons why you should get into a guild, because you can get these points and get these Gladius packs, and the Gladius packs are really fun cards to use in the brawls, but they're collection power, and so you can get a real good bonus to your collection power at a time where we're still getting SPS for it. Let's see if I get anything really cool. We're looking for legendaries and epics. I opened 4 packs, so I've already got 3 rares, 4 rares. That could be all I get. Oh, I got another rare at least. Oh, I got a gold card. Those are always kind of interesting just because it's a nice power boost. And you can burn them for DEC. I got another rare. 4 packs and no legendaries are epics. Wah, wah. But if we look at my collection from playing in my guild. So here's kind of, what I have. I can almost level him up to level 3. I do have a few gold cards, but all the golds I pulled so far have been common. Kind of interesting. I got 2 of this one. I wonder, can they level up? Oh yeah, I can have a level 4 now. You can burn these, but you can't. But mostly they're good for getting that power. See, is 1,000 power for this card, and that's pretty good. You can't rent them out though, so they're not anything worth that. But as you can see, if you've never seen these cards before, though, you can check them out in the shop on the shop page, even though you can't buy them. They are very, very strong cards. Very strong cards. This one here is one of the strongest cards. I would like to get more of this card and level this one up. But luck of the draw wasn't with me that time. I got a whole bunch of rares, and I still can't level any of them up, I don't think. Oh, I could level this one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know, this might have been a little bit boring, but if you hung out till the end, thank you. And now we'll go talk about the tokens. And if not, you probably will use the time link to get over to here. Oh, the token page is not loading. I like to look on tribal decks just because the Splinterlands tokens are always at the top. But if tribal decks is having a problem... Oh, here we go. So, DEC, we're still sitting at the 0.0036. It's been relatively stable, holding that about $3.30 per 1,000. In the show, we all kind of agreed as we get closer and closer to the airdrop, we're expecting DEC to trend down. Once the airdrop ends, we don't see a lot of reason for the bigger accounts to hold DEC anymore, and so they will probably go ahead and move it out. There is a few other reasons people might hold DEC. Mostly if they're trying to use them within liquidity pools. We could see some kind of reward boost to those liquidity pools, and if so, then that would kind of counter a little bit of DEC dropping all the way back down to peg or under peg at 1,000 crystals equals $1 or 0.001 for 1,000, but for a crystal. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to do a lot of stuff to protect DEC. I think instead they're going to be concentrating on upping the value of SPS. SPS is down here at under 13 cents now. It's kind of a bummer we couldn't hold that 14 cents range. I still think this token has the potential to be a much bigger token, but we need to see that use case come into place with validators and governance. And when the airdrop ends, there's going to be a brief period of time where there's not as much tokens coming into the marketplace, and people will be competing to be the top 21 validators. And so we could finally see this token start to trend up a little bit. I do think we're going to need more momentum in the game and the overall crypto market to be bullish, but not bullish during a war. Bullish, just regular bullish, because I don't think people, even though you might be making some big gains in crypto, I don't think you're putting them into really speculative tokens at this time. I don't think of SPS as a speculative token, but a lot of other people would. Chaos packs are still holding $3. That's actually really good on the secondary market to see them not going down to like $2 or $2.50. That means people are buying them up on the secondary market at this price to hold it at this price. As you can see, there's $30,000 worth of volume over here, so that's pretty good. And while people can resell them for $3, there are some people, as we get closer to airdrops, who might invest in a lot of cards to try to get more airdrop points by buying a lot of packs. And then they'll go ahead and sell the packs on the secondary market, taking a little bit of a loss, but just hoping to pull some extra airdrop cards. Vouchers, we're down here at $1.20. I have said that if you're not somebody that has a lot of vouchers coming to you because you don't have a lot of stuff staked, that under $1.50 is a possible buy, and under $1 is probably an ultimate buy, because eventually we're going to have another Waka card, or we're going to have some other thing released by the game, some kind of partnership, and there's going to be a chance for people to get into it in one way or another, and it's going to need vouchers, and then vouchers are going to pump. Now, the longer between those things, the more they'll go down, but they'll always probably pump close to around $2 and then come back down. This is because there is a really controlled supply. Splinterlands knows what the supply is. They knew that, us needing 500 vouchers to get 500 Wakas was going to eat up that many vouchers, and how many vouchers were out there in the marketplace. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to end it today. It was a 23-minute video. I hope that was helpful to you. If I missed anything from the AMA, let me know, and I will talk to you later. Bye.